Hey everybody, this is Wendy Hensley with Northwest Rider Magazine, and I am here with Brent Skill, Brent is the owner of Big Hat Saddlery. And Brent, I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk to our readers and our online viewers about leather care and maintenance. I know you do a lot of other stuff, and we'll get to that in a minute, but you are really good at cleaning, maintaining, and just taking really good care of your leather products. So I was hoping you could share a little bit about what you do and what tools you use, and give people some information on that.
Okay. Well, first off, the first tool that I like to use is a vacuum cleaner, because most of the saddles that I get in for cleaning have a lot of dust on them from the arenas.
Yes, as that one does.
Yeah, as this one does right here. And it's in hidden places. So I take a vacuum cleaner with a hose attachment and a soft brush on the end of it so you won't damage anything. And then I just vacuum the whole thing off, get the dust off. And once that is done, then I'll start off with a liquid saddle soap solution. And this, I'm just using this bottle. This is a different product, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I take, this is a quart, I put a quart of water in it and a couple of teaspoons of dish soap. Ivory liquid is really good, and shake it up so it's all mixed together. And then I'll spray the saddle down in sections and spray it carefully so it's all wet. I'll take a toothbrush and work it around in the tooling. And then if it's basket stamp, you have to go with the basket stamp lines. And then you circular motion, wipe that off with a towel. And then when that's done, I'll go on to my all-time favorite, Bee Natural Leathercare Rudies. And this is a cleaner conditioner, and it has enough wax in it that when it's done, it leaves a nice shine on your saddle.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
you don't have to go through an additional waxing step after
No,
you do
right,
the cleaning.
right. You don't have to
Yeah.
unless you want to. And there is a product for that. It's a leather finish
Okay.
that you can use after you use the Rudies.
Cool.
But if I want to put a nice shine on it just for general use, I'll do Rudies and let it dry, buff it, and then put another coat of Rudies on and let it dry and buff that, and it brings up a nice shine. So the way I apply this stuff, and I just use a piece of wool skin that I have shaved down with some scissors, just clip it off, because usually it starts about 3/4 of an inch thick, and I get it down like this.
Is the reason for getting it down so that it doesn't leave behind little fuzzies? Or?
Yeah, it'll leave fuzzies otherwise, and then also it just holds too much.
Oh,
It's
sure.
too thick to work with.
Gotcha.
But this is thick enough, and you can use a t-shirt too if you want to, and to put on the Rudies. And I put it on rather heavily to begin with and let it soak for a little bit, because Rudies goes down into the cracks and it will soften the dirt.
Oh, okay.
And especially on a tooled saddle with deep tooling especially, the dirt in there will just kind of compact.
Yeah.
So we let the Rudies sit on there for just a minute or so, and then I'll go back again with my toothbrush and work that over and dig the stuff out. If it's really impacted in there deeply, I use a tool with a sharp point on it, or you can use a round toothpick
Oh, okay.
and go in to the tooling marks and just work out each one of those and
Sure.
clean it out. That's especially handy if someone has used regular white saddle soap,
Oh,
because
yeah.
that leaves a residue, and a lot of people don't know how to clean that out.
Yeah.
So I'll get a saddle in for cleaning, and the residue is there, and that's when I use the water solution also to kind of turn that back into soap suds so I can get rid of it, and then I have to dig it out with this little tool here too.
Sure.
Sometimes a toothbrush isn't quite enough.
So that when that gets compacted in there, that soap, I would imagine that's just even more of a dirt attractant, right? Because it's like
Yes.
that film. It just then it just never looks sharp. It just never looks really classy put together.
Right, and it gives your tooling a white outline that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen that on my
Yeah,
saddles.
and it is definitely a dirt attractant that you've got to watch out for.
Yeah.
So this bottle is it's a glycerin cleaner, and in a case where the saddle has saddle strings on leather strings, if they're blood knotted together, a little squirt of this stuff on that blood knot will help to loosen it and lubricate it, so
Okay.
it's easier to get out. And to do that, you take a screwdriver and slip it in underneath there and slowly twist it, and then pull on the string and roll it in your hand, and it rolls it out through after it's been lubricated with this stuff.
Okay.
You have to watch out that this will darken a light saddle.
Okay.
So you have to be careful with that. But it's a good cleaner as well. It really is. So my favorite things to use are this wash here to begin with, then the Rudies. And then when I'm done with all of that, I will go through with a #1 saddle oil from Bee Natural.
Okay.
This does not darken.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Regular neat's foot oil is a good lubricant, a good conditioner for a saddle, but I only use it underneath.
Because it does darken. And
It does darken
changes.
it. Yeah. It's a new saddle leather. If you want to give it that classic russet color kind of, you'll put on regular neat's foot compound saddle oil, and that brings that out. So this, I don't want to darken your saddle any more than it already is, so I'll use this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of timing, are there times of the year that are best to condition? I mean, I know it seems like my tack this year for some reason is really dry. I don't know why, but it just seems like it is a little bit more so than past years. So do you recommend certain times that you want to condition and clean? What are your thoughts?
Well, I clean mine at least twice a year.
Okay.
No matter what, my saddles. And the reason that arena dust will dry out a saddle quicker than the sun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just sits there and absorbs the moisture that's in the leather.
Sure.
So when I get those, and once you start putting the conditioner on, then sometimes I'll have to go through with the oil and put it underneath.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and
this saddle's in desperate need.
yeah, it's a little bit on the stiff side there.
Yeah.
So you can soften it up and work with the Rudies on the top and the #1 saddle oil underneath, and this is a good penetrating oil. It's designed to penetrate quickly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I especially use that on stirrup leathers.
Oh, yeah.
The part underneath the fender that actually goes up over the bars there, I'll work on those with this #1 saddle oil after I clean them with the Rudies.
Okay.
Now, another thing that this Rudies is good for on your saddle is a flank cinch.
Yeah.
And you get that crud on the bottom, the sweat
Yes.
and dirt all mixed, and then it looks kind of hard or gummy.
Yeah.
You put that on there and let it sit for a few minutes, and then go back, and it starts to come right off.
Oh, neat. Okay.
You can use the flat side of a kitchen table knife.
And just kind of scrape
Just
it off.
kind of scrape it off,
Yeah.
and then.
Okay.
But it's amazing how you can watch that stuff just melt that garbage away,
Oh,
and
that's
next thing
awesome.
you know, you've got clean leather underneath. So
Yeah.
that should be done pretty frequently.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine it's a health concern too for horses because it's, that can't be good rubbing on them and touching their skin and that grossness.
If
So
you care for your horse, you'll care for your tack.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I know too, Brent, you do a lot of other things. I mean, you take saddles and I would imagine headstalls and anything, you take it in and you clean it, and you'll do all this work for somebody if they want. I've had you do a number of my saddles and always super happy with the results on that. But what else do? You do custom leather work? What kind of stuff do you do?
I can build a custom saddle for you or repair the one you break.
Awesome.
And I make saddle bags and horn bags, gun leather, any kind of custom leather you'd like, Bible covers, notebook covers, 3-ring binder covers.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we do all kinds of stuff, a lot of custom leather. I even make mugs.
Oh yeah, I
out of
saw
leather.
those, the wraps, and they're super cool.
They
look
hold a little
beautiful.
jar you take out, but the mug can be tooled or have your initials on it or whatever. So all kinds of leather stuff. It started out for me as a hobby, and it's become a business, but I just love to do it. So.
Yeah, and some of the saddles you've made, I've seen pictures of them, and they're just absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. You do really good work.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It's very cool. But is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about cleaning or tack or what you do?
Well, just that you bring it out to me, and I'll make it beautiful again, ready for the Rose Parade when it's done.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's the big thing. So.
Yeah, and it is pretty time consuming to get in there and just really be detailed in what I think I've done you know, I've tried to just scrape by sometimes and just do like squirt some leather new on it and hope for the best. But really, to take care of the tack, it needs to be cleaned, conditioned, and really get into those cracks and do it right. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely, taking the time to do that is important. So
I've restored some saddles that are over 100 years old.
oh man,
And when they were done, you could see the detail again because of going in with the little tools and
yeah,
scraping out all the little tooling that got filled in with crud over the years, and you could faintly see it, but
Yeah.
it's still there. So
yeah.
work it out, and suddenly your saddle looks like it just came out of the showroom. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. So, okay, well, Brent, thank you so much this morning. I really appreciate all your information. I'm going to put links in there to Brent's Facebook page. You can check him out on Facebook. It's Big Hat Saddlery if you just do a search. But like I said, I'll put a link as well. And then I'll list out what the products are as well in the comments. So that if anybody's interested in purchasing, they can do that as well.
These are made in Vancouver too, so they're homegrown stuff.
Awesome. We like that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching today, and we'll have another live in a couple days, and I appreciate you taking the time to be with us. So thank you so much, Brent.
Thank you.
Thank you.